You are now listening to Testimonies with Terry.
Hey everyone, it's Nick Sutton here, and I'm just getting back to everyone with their questions tonight. But I just really wanted to just say a big thank you to everyone who reached out, whether in person or text or emails. It was really encouraging for me to just hear how everyone's connected in some way to my story. But I think that's the beauty of testimonies is we each have one, and believe it or not, everyone seems to be connected in some way, shape, or form. So I'm just going to go through a few questions that you guys had and just give you some more insight. First question is, have I ever tried to establish contact with my dad since he left? And quite frankly, it's a yes and a no, because I've kind of gone down some rabbit trails and some pathways that seemed always to end up in a dead end. Whether it was reaching out to people that he knew personally, I've reached to them and kind of got some red flags as far as just kind of leave it alone. And then I've gone down the online route of finding addresses and just kind of hitting dead ends with that as well. So yes, I've tried to reach out, but not exactly as far as I could. Maybe down the road, I guess I will, but in my head, maybe I'm not even ready for it. So it's just a prayer thing and finding the right time with my wife to go down that road because we have little kids right now. And yeah, it's a big decision. So question 2 is, how old was I when I started playing guitar? I was about 12 years old. I got my first guitar for Christmas, and I played that guitar every single night for about 3 or 4 years. And I was diligent about every night, and I was never good. I just sat there and plucked or strummed away, but I was diligent every single night. Some nights I'd go to bed and I forgot, and I would wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning and run over and just pluck a string quick just to say I did it. It was kind of an addiction of mine, but I'd say about 10 years ago I really flourished with just dedicating myself to the craft and the worship leading. Question 3 is, with all the trauma I've been through, have I ever been to counseling? And if so, what was the most helpful thing I've learned in counseling? Yeah, I've been through many different counseling sessions and groups. One was marital, one was with my son Tristan, my oldest, and then one was just by myself. I just feel like each route was kind of fruitful in its own way. But the most helpful thing I've learned was just learning what anxiety is. And my counselor really explained it well with just this picture of anxiety is the dissonance or gap between reality and what you want reality to be. So say you're at dinner with your kids sitting at dinner table, and reality is they're not listening, they're not eating. It's loud, it's obnoxious, and kind of chaotic. But what you want reality to be as an adult sitting there, you want it to just be quiet and have a nice talk around the dinner table and everyone eating and having fun. So it's just learning how to make that gap smaller between what reality actually is and what you want reality to be, so that anxiety just dwindles and can be extinguished, because it's just a mental game and we just have to change our perspective. And question 4 is, how did I incorporate Kira into a co-parenting role with Tristan once we were married? And I would say it was a lot of factors, but the main thing is we didn't set expectations up for each other. And we weren't perfect. We struggled through a few things here and there, and we went to counseling for it. That was the other benefit. The counseling is one of the greatest things you can do as a couple, as a family, just to walk through some seasons. And it doesn't have to be when you hit the wall. It can be a preventative maintenance just to make sure you're going through things correctly and thinking about other people. But yeah, we didn't set up expectations. We just took it slow. I didn't force her to be the mother because Tristan already has a mother. She just needed to be present and vulnerable and just be there with us. And then what advice would I give to people who are trying to incorporate their spouse into co-parenting roles? I would say there's just a lot of different ways to go about it, and there's a lot of resources, books talking about this. And my wife and I, we've just led a life group on this subject exactly, actually. The 7 Habits of a Healthy Step Family. And it talks a lot about how there's different methods for co-parenting. One is the pressure cooker method, the microwave method, and they each have their downsides. You know, pressure cooking, you just throw everything in and just press on, and it just heats everything up quickly, and it can lead to chaos because you don't really give yourself time and space to grow together. The microwave, it's just a zap, you know, we just want the instant fix. But the best method to go about co-parenting, in my eyes, and through a lot of these resources, is the slow cooker method, where you put everything in, you put it on low and slow, and you cook evenly, and you give each other space and time to grow together and to really just feel each other out and how they go about their relationships, because it's not a one-day fix. It's not even a one-year fix. I'm about 8 years into this step family relationship with my wife and my son, and we're still learning a lot about each other, and it's fruitful, and we are growing into greater people because of it. So I would just encourage just to go in the low and slow method and just give each other space and time. But yeah, I just really want to say thank you to everyone and encourage you all to reach out, whether it's in person or email. I'd love to hear your stories and just how you've connected to my story or any other of these testimonies. They're all amazing, and we can all just kind of bounce ideas off of each other and grow together. So thank you again, and have a great night. Thanks.